Yeah, man, it's Monday, and I figured I'd log on a couple minutes early because I want to make sure I finish this one up tonight without having to feel like I'm rushing. So I said, yeah, you know what? Let me see if I can catch some people that might be, some do-gooders when it comes down to class. I'm always here for class on time. In fact, I'm early. I'm early. We always had those when we were growing up in school. Bell hasn't rang yet. All of us clowns like to come in at the last minute where we got to lean like we running through a track line or something. Then you got other people who, as soon as the bell ring, they're right in the classroom waiting for the teacher to come in. All right, that one, I want you to know I'll collect the homework if you want me to, Mrs. Krabapo. You're sitting there like, why you always got to, maybe she would forget to collect the homework because I ain't do it. Now I'm going to have to sneak and steal yours. Nerd. Yeah, man, we always had them. So now that I'm older, I appreciate those type of people. So if you're here early and you got a few minutes to get started, that'd be great. So we don't have to drag it out too long. Today is Monday. Couple things. Personally, I started my new job today. I haven't adopted my vampire hours yet because it is, of course, the first week is basically getting to know everybody and know everything and all of that stuff, training and all that stuff. Then I'll go to my vampire hours probably next week. But secondly, for y'all who always be asking, where's Nala and where's Gizmo? Well, guys, I got some. Y'all probably think it's good news. I think it's bad news. So Nala apparently has went into heat, which I thought she was a little too young to go into heat, y'all. But Gizmo's been chasing her around. He's been chasing her around for like almost a week and a half now. And I've been making sure I'm hating on him. I've been hating on him. Every time he go for the gusto, I bust it all up. Like, get up off of her. Dang on it. Well, we got the haircut. And last night, I was watching Gizmo's behavior. And he definitely, kind of calmed down. He's getting back to his old self. I heard him even squeaking the ball a little bit. And he lowered my awareness. I guess he caught me slipping. So all of a sudden I realized, like, wait a minute. Where in the world are the dogs? Where they at? Especially when I get up and start walking. Usually Nala, who I call my shadow, I call her Shadow, she'll follow me everywhere, no matter where I'm going. But the shadow didn't come out from under the bed. And I'm sitting there like, wait a minute, are they under the bed? Wait a minute. And I looked under the bed and dun, dun, dun. They was doing the nasty, y'all. Couldn't believe it, man. Couldn't believe it. So I might be a grandfather. All of those who's been talking about, I'll buy a puppy. Well, she is with child or children. Yeah, y'all be out. I'll be like, all right. Turn the whole show into modeling puppies. This one right here, modeling the white and black fur. Yep, so we'll see now in about 2 or 3 weeks if she started getting a little. I really wasn't ready for him, but God dog it. I mean, it was all me. And I think Gizmo lured me into the false sense of security. That's what it was. He said, no, you good, man. Keep working. Keep working. No, I'm over that. I'm over that. For a minute, I thought she was hot, but now I'm cool. I'm cool. Now go ahead, man. Why don't you come under the bed? Let me talk to you for a minute. And got busted doing the nasty. So we'll see what happens with that, ladies and gents. I'm a little perturbed at both of them right about now, but hey, what are you going to do? Animals are animals. Isn't it funny, though? Isn't it funny how Gizmo knew that she was a female? She was a female. He didn't have to ask. He didn't have to be like, what gender is she? Is she gender neutral? Isn't it funny how even dogs know what to do? Animals, they know what to do. But we got a bunch of liberals running around. They don't know. They don't know which is which. I don't know. I was going to mate with this the thing right here, but I don't know what gender it is. You tell me before I decide to mate with you. What gender are you? People. Sometimes I'd rather animals than people. So anyway, that's what's going on. Latest news. But other than that, it's Monday. And we need to talk about some things, y'all, because you're going to get furious if you haven't heard already the new discovery by DOGE. But we also got some great news in regards to deportation. And boy, we got us a funny one tonight. Somebody got their butts deported. Deported. And is furious. He's furious about it. And I think it's hilarious. So that's why I wanted to go ahead and start early so we can get through it. And then, people go ahead and start logging in as time goes by. Also, don't forget, hit the like button, share my videos. I see Don's in the house, the Eagle Eye's in the house. I'm seeing some familiar faces. Yeah, there you go. Great job, Kev. Go Doge, go. That's right. Somebody said coffee. Yeah. So, yeah. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. Real gorilla. There's some kings in the building. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Gorillas in here. Yeah, man. Now, don't forget, we do have a corner store in here too. So you can check that out. Purchase some merch if you want to. If you got 2 nickels to rub together. Also, that number right there, 330-974-4607 is the number you text MAGA to. This way I can keep you in the loop just in case YouTube hurt my feelings by making me unexist on a platform for revealing all the shenanigans that's going on with the fake news and with the Democrats. Now, I'm assuming y'all can hear me. I knew I forgot something. Yeah. Oh, wait, give me 1 second here. Boy. Move, dogs. You know I'm still mad at y'all. Out here getting pregnant. Wait a minute. Oh well. Wait, oh, there we go. Yeah. Sorry about that. Oh shoot. Unplugging stuff. My bad. All right, now here we go. I'm back. Yeah, tripping over stuff. I forgot. Got to get my little cord. My little phone, so I can see if I got a notification or not. Yeah, we want to make sure. There we go. Got one. All right. Yeah, almost hid the phone from myself. So there we go. So apparently, notifications have gone out. To how many people? Don't know. But you can help me out by sharing my videos, following me on all the other platforms and stuff like that. Somebody said, ooh, you're early tonight. Yeah, tried to catch y'all slipping. I want to start off a little earlier so I can get done a little earlier. Because, of course, you got to impress people, for the first week, especially for the first week. I can't be up in, orientation nodding off. Can't be up there doing that. And since I didn't start off with my vampire hours, they got me on, the morning shift right now. And I'm like, oh, man. I got to still go to bed early. Ooh, make me sick. So I got to go ahead and get done earlier so I can go ahead and get ready for bed and be ready to impress. And I'm glad that I'm taking this little moment to say hello to everybody because it just reminded me I did not turn off my notifications. So let me get that. Bam. And just for safekeeping, I'll turn on the Wi-Fi. Make sure no interruptions happen. All right. So, guys, we're about to get busy talking about some shenanigans that's going on around the country. And I tell you, man, and I mean some shenanigans. But in good news, though, MS-13 arrested. But guess what, y'all? Signalgate. I guess Signalgate is just a little more important than one of the top 3 MS-13 notorious gang members being arrested and deported. According to the news, though, Signalgate. That's what it is, Signalgate. And I guarantee you, if you go out there and you ask the average American, did you hear about Signalgate? Did you hear about what happened to Pete Hegseth and Tulsi Gabbard and all of that stuff with that communication thing? They'll be like, no idea. They're trying to force this narrative into society and gin up a lot of concern from people who, of course, most folks are going, what the heck is a Signalgate? You know what? That means nothing to me. Did something bad happen? Did 13 service members get killed? Is it something I can quantify and so I can see just how bad Signalgate is? No, it's just y'all are telling me I should be mad about it. That's what it is. And that's not working. That is not working at all. But they're doing their best to go ahead and force this narrative to drum up some type of, concern or whatever, anger amongst people in society. And this is nothing new. It's just a part of their playbook. They do this all the time. But the crazy part, though, is, impressionable people, crazy behind liberals or people who suffer from Trump derangement syndrome, they're going to get mad about whatever the Democrats or the fake news tell them to get mad about. For example, USAID. I mean, they had no idea there was a USAID until the fake news and the Democrats told them that this is important and we got to stop Elon Musk and Donald Trump from destroying it. And all of a sudden, all these people developed this love for USAID that they just learned about. Same thing. You're going to get some people who hear about the whole signal incident and they're going to, see there. But the average person, they don't care. And so big news should be this MS-13 person getting arrested. But we got to compete with Signalgate. So let's go ahead and see how that's rolling.
One of the most notorious gang members in all of North America is now behind bars after an arrest in Northern Virginia just this morning. One of the alleged leaders of the Salvadoran MS-13 gang was taken down in a joint effort involving multiple federal agencies.
Yes.
NewsNation's Ali Bradley is live with more on the operation and the man who was at the top of the FBI's most wanted list, Ali.
Top of the FBI most wanted list. Isn't this somewhat refreshing? That our FBI is actually going after criminals? You mean to tell me this report isn't about a grandmother being arrested for praying outside of a abortion clinic? That's not what this is about? Oh, this isn't about the FBI raiding some guy's crib because some crazy leftist was all up in his son's face? It's not about that? Oh, it's about some real criminals? Oh, wow, I got to hear this.
Yeah, hey, Nicole. So Attorney General Pam Bondi making this announcement today that in the early morning hours with this joint effort between federal partners and also Virginia state officials, they actually...
It says, you can do with the lights. Yeah, man, the lights be killing me, y'all. They kill me. That's why I rock the dark glass. I could take them off for a second, but after a while, all these lights and stuff start to bother my eyes, y'all. So don't think I'm just up here trying to be cool like Isaac Hayes. Even though I do got a little Isaac Hayes in me now in my older age. But now let's get back to this. All right, so they're talking about how they managed to catch this very dangerous person that shouldn't have even been in our country.
Actually apprehended one of the top 3 MS-13 leaders of a very violent gang that has been designated as a terrorist organization under the Trump administration. They're saying that they apprehended this man from El Salvador, an illegal immigrant here. And Pam Bondi is saying that this man was recruited at a very early age, and then he actually rose to power. Now, where they got him was in Dale City, Virginia. That's about 30 minutes outside of Washington, D.C. Take a listen to what the Attorney General had to say this morning.
This is what happens when you let good cops be cops. And we're going to continue to let good cops be cops across this country. President Trump gave us the executive decision to go after and safeguard our communities. General Bondi is our warrior of justice leading that charge. Governor Youngkin, it's an honor to be a partner in this operation with you and U.S. Attorney Siebert.
So let's hear from Pam Bondi. And I know all the news and stuff, they're going to be like, oh, how did you apprehend this dangerous criminal? You know what? The people should be grateful for you and the FBI and your task force of getting this guy off the streets. I'm sure that's what they're going to be asking her.
A few moments later.
What's going on? Is DOJ involved at this point? If so, why? If not, why not?
The heck?
Well, first, it was sensitive information, not classified.
You got to be kidding me. So we came to this press conference waiting to hear some details about this very, very dangerous MS-13 leader being caught and deported, and some jackleg reporter wants to know about Signalgate. He wants to know about the DOJ involved, this thing right here. I guess this is a controversy and all of that stuff. They're asking her stupid stuff.
And inadvertently released. And what we should be talking about is it was a very successful mission. Our world is now safer because of that mission. We're not going to comment any further on that. If you want to talk about classified information, talk about what was at Hillary Clinton's home that she was trying to bleach bit. Talk about the...
Oh, snap. Now, see, that's what you get. That's what you get when you mess with a strong lioness like this. See, you're going to try to slide in some stupidity about Signalgate, which was pulled off without a problem, without a hitch. But on the back end, y'all discovered that it was some communications and somebody got, put into the chat. Now, all of a sudden, that just undermines the success of the operation. It didn't affect that. No, we put, okay. So yeah, y'all want to slide that in. And now she got to go ahead and highlight how hypocritical the fake news have been and all these Democrats who's running around trying to drum up some interest or excitement or outrage over Signalgate. And it's amazing that they would even try to do that. They act as if we're not aware of all of the times that all of the protocols and the classified information was handled recklessly, or the operations under Biden was handled extremely reckless. So they have no right to be up here trying to drum up some controversy about Signalgate when they ignored so many other things that took place under Biden and beyond. So many other things that falls right in the same category, but yet worse than this so-called Signalgate, like Hillary Clinton. With all of those classified emails. And we ain't talking about just one conversation in a group chat. We're talking about a lot of conversations on her unsecure server. That's what we're talking about. And the fact that it was obvious that most likely the Chinese done got hold to it. We're talking about a lady who destroyed evidence. Yeah, mishandled it. And yet they just kind of just turn their head. What about Joe Biden? With all of that classified information he had in his garage next to his Corvette that he took when he was a senator. They weren't worried about that? No? Okay. What else?
The classified documents in Joe Biden's garage that Hunter Biden had access to. This was not classified information, and we are very pleased with the results of that operation and that the entire world is safer because of it.
Thank you. Thank you. But it's time for some hypocrisy. Yeah. Because they just don't want to let it go. I want to get back to the illegal immigration issue. But look at this nonsense right here.
Did you call for Lloyd Austin's resignation? Not only did we lose 13 service members, we left $70 billion worth of equipment.
Oh, my. Oh, my. Here's a Democrat had the nerve to go on CNBC and thought maybe he would have a cushiony place where they would just say, vomit up all the anger and animosity you have towards the Trump administration and all of his shenanigans. But this guy brings up this. He said, what about the operation in Afghanistan that left 13 members killed? And what about that dude, Lloyd Austin, that was walking around with the LGBT thing across his neck and he had the big old shield on his face and all of a sudden, and disappeared. Just disappeared. I want to see how this bootleg politician is going to answer that, because surely he's going to come out and say, that's right, I did call for Lloyd Austin's resignation.
Fell into the hands of the Taliban. A couple of years later, he was out of pocket for 2 weeks and didn't tell the White House. Did you?
Went AWOL, y'all. 2 weeks. How many of y'all got that type of job where you can just go missing for 2 weeks, show back up like ain't nothing happened? Now that's the type of job I want right there. Hey, what's happening, y'all? What do you mean what's happening, man? Where you been? Oh, questioning me? Man, get out my face. Anyway, I thought, let me log in. Hey, my login isn't working. Of course it's not. We thought you quit. You've been gone for 2 weeks. You're no call, no show. You up here talking about that. Why ain't my login working? We thought you bounced. So Lloyd Austin just bounced for 2 weeks. two full weeks. And now I'm pretty sure he probably did that because Joe Biden wouldn't have known anyway. Call him up, hey, Mr. Biden, this is Lloyd Austin. Who? Steve Austin? No, Lloyd Austin. Never heard of you. Anyway, well, look, I won't be here for 2 weeks. Okay, see you next year. So there you have it. That man missed 2 weeks. Not to mention, he overseen one of the worst debacles ever. One of the most embarrassing political and military moments ever. And yet, this guy's up here talking about Signalgate. And he gets called out for his hypocrisy.
You asked for him to resign at this point? Are you actually asking for Hegseth and Waltz to resign when you didn't ask for Lloyd Austin?
There is nothing that Lloyd Austin did by getting health care treatment.
What?
What about it?
What? See, that hypocrisy will make you do that. Yeah, to hang on to that hypocrisy, you got to twist yourself all up in pretzels and make yourself sound dumb. That man said nothing that he did wrong by getting health care. Missing the whole point. Nobody's talking about this dude going to get health care. We're talking about how you handled it. And you don't tell your bosses an afterthought that you went and got some health care for 2 weeks. Now, he sounds stupid. He's banking on people watching this show right here, and they don't know that he did this without even communicating to the White House. Just bounce. But he wants to act like it was nothing wrong with him. Unless this man was incapacitated, unless he was in a full-blown coma and couldn't communicate. And even then, somebody in his family should have got on the horn like, hey, listen, I'm down here with Lloyd. He's down for the count. We don't know when he'll be back, but just alert somebody. Nobody communicated that. And this guy's like, nothing wrong with him getting health care. You see these Democrats? How hypocritical they are.
What about Afghanistan? Did you guys forget that? The statute of limitations is over.
Getting.
That's what
the fact that the Secretary of Defense was getting health care is fundamentally different from the Secretary of Defense sharing on an unsecure platform.
How in the world do this guy get away with this, man? Boy, I wish I would have been interviewing him. So wait, the Secretary of Defense getting health care, just simplified it, make it seem like it was just that. Like he called up Joe Biden and said, hey, listen, Joey, I'm down for the count. I'm sickly. I'm going to get some health care. Okay, roger that. Thanks for keeping me in the loop. No, that didn't happen. My man said, man, I ain't got to report to Biden. Man, forget that dude. I'm about to go ahead and check myself into the hospital. When I get back, then I'll be back. Hey, ain't nobody going to miss me because I'm a DEI hire anyway. Yeah, I'm just there for nothing. So, shoot. The rest of the whole cabinet is running trashy anyway. We doing all kind of reckless stuff, like just waking up one day and say we're bouncing out of Afghanistan. So me taking 2 weeks off can't be worse than that. If I didn't get fired for getting 13 people killed, and all of our equipment left behind, if I didn't get fired for that, you think I'm gonna get fired for taking 2 weeks off without letting nobody know? Pfft, whatever. So let's continue. Plus, he's black, y'all. And the Biden administration was all about, making sure diversity and stuff. You can't fire a black person. And think about how raggedy Black Gay Drop was. Yeah, the secretary, the lady who come out, what's her name? What do you call it? Press secretary. Yeah, how trashy she was, and they couldn't fire her either. So let's continue.
It was. You just said it was a success. But Afghanistan was not a success.
I am not saying that the attack on the Houthis was not a success. I am saying that he demonstrably violated a directive that was just shared in the Pentagon about don't use signal for classified information. It is not reliably secure. And one of the folks on that group chat was in Russia at the time that information was being
secure line.
On a secure line. Leave out those details. You got to try to imply that somehow the Russians intercepted something on a jigger. There it is, because I just said it. One of them was in Russia on a secure line. You weren't supposed to know that. I was trying to convince your audience that maybe the Russians hacked and got into that. But anyway. So now this guy right here is trying to run interference for the worst debacle that I can remember in my lifetime in regards to the military. Just horrible. That scene, the way we saw them planes leaving and them people running and trying to hang on to the planes, this fool and the rest of the Democrats never came out and said, where's the accountability? Somebody's head need to roll. Didn't do it. It just brought Joe Biden on TV and let him vomit up some raggedy excuse. And then just left it alone. Thanks for clearing that up, Joey.
All of us use apps like WhatsApp.
You're running out the clock on Afghanistan. You're running out the clock on.
Thank you for calling that peanut head out. That you're running out the clock. That's what you're doing, because you're sounding like a big fat hypocrite.
It was a mistake for Donald Trump to negotiate with the Taliban an agreement for winding down the Afghanistan war.
Afghanistan was Donald Trump's fault?
If you'd let me finish my sentence, I will.
Well, that's what you did say that. You did say that.
It was a mistake to negotiate an end to that war that put Biden in a box.
No, it wasn't. All Biden had to do was execute it the way Trump had already set it up. Yeah, there it is. There was a mistake. Well, if y'all wouldn't have stole the election, then he would have went ahead and finished it. But because y'all stole the election, and then Creepy Sleepy comes in, who was unable to negotiate anything because he was blew out mentity, then of course, hey, who knows? Joe might have woke up in the middle of the night like, pull him out. What? Yeah, pull him out now. I just had a dream. It was a nightmare. So go ahead and pull him out. But sir, we haven't pull him out. Okay. And it looked just like that. That's how that whole debacle looked, like he just woke up randomly, getting the coal out the eyes, talking about some pull us out of Afghanistan right now. And it looked just like we did that. So here this guy is trying to blame it on Trump somehow.
Execution of the withdrawal from Afghanistan was badly handled, and the loss of those 13 Marines.
Yeah,
was
but
a
what about
tragedy.
accountability?
Should you have asked for Lloyd Austin's resignation from that? Or
I don't know whether Lloyd Austin's the person who should have been held accountable for it, but there should have been accountability.
Well, if you don't know, who knows? I mean, he was had the position of Pete Hegseth. So I guess he oversaw the whole thing. No criticism there. No asking for his resignation. None of that. You got to be kidding me. That is why I don't want to hear anything about no signal gate from Democrats or the fake news. One ear and out the other. That's what's happening when it comes down to that. And not to mention, that's probably how most Trump supporters feel about the whole situation. Yeah, maybe somebody got slid in. We need to, I ain't gonna say we don't need to find out how that happened, but to the extreme of what these people are trying to make it seem like, and we had a successful mission, and then afterwards we find out some bootleg reporter got entered into the chat. I'm like, okay, did that mess up the operation? Did that compromise the operation? Okay, so we just, so as an afterthought, oh, by the way, somebody else was in the chat. So that's it. That's the extent of it all. And y'all want us to be like, hands need to roll. And you know what? This whole the organization is just crumbling. Look, he's just, and I'm going, not working. Especially not working when you guys ran interference for Joe Biden in the way him and Austin ran the military. Not working. Don't want to hear from you guys. So let's continue because we want to get back to some real news like the immigration issue and them getting rid of folks from MS-13. Yeah. Oh, so no one cares about Signalgate. And this young Pop-Tart had to learn the hard way by asking one of the Republicans that was walking into the Capitol. Look what happened. Up in D.C.
National security team to keep our war plans top secret.
I do, but I do not trust your wardrobe advisor.
Oh, that's what you get, nerd. You see him up here trying to stop. Excuse me, do you care about?
I do, but I do not trust your wardrobe advisor.
Oh, I do not trust your wardrobe advisor. Now, that's true. That guy right there, he looks like the stereotypical nerd. He looked like they built this nerd in a laboratory right there. He got the shirt, the backpack. I'm surprised he ain't got the tape on the glasses, the pocket holder, the pin holder. Yeah, and he got the nerd. Do you think it was a mistake? But he didn't get enough, though. He came back for some more.
2 days later.
Harry, do you trust Trump's national security team to keep our war plans top secret?
You trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on.
Oh my! He won't be getting any girls tonight, that's for sure. Ooh, I saw him embarrass you and ask you about some hot pockets and oh boy, when will they learn to stop messing with that guy? Look at his face. That's how you handle it.
Do you trust Trump's national security team?
First of all, I don't trust the man who comes to talk to me with no bass in his voice. That's what I don't trust. With my hearing getting worse as I get older, and I'm sitting here, I can't hear you. The high frequencies go over my head. I'm like, what are you saying? You need to go ahead and have a little more bass. I can't hear you. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Sound like you're whistling. And then he got a verbal lashing.
To keep our war plans top secret.
You trust your mother every night to fix your hot pockets and make sure your Game Boy is turned on.
He gave it to him. Man, I tell you, he ain't got nothing to say but just looking stupid. One, don't you feel dumb? Look at him. Oh.
Okay,
So yeah, let's get back to the important stuff. Okay, after we watch that little Pop-Tart get embarrassed. So now, here we go. Some real news right here. Things that impact Americans' lives, like this guy getting arrested.
Virginia Governor Youngkin said that they were part of this apprehension effort here, saying that they signed on to 287G. They actually deputized local officers to assist here. Now, they created...
Wait, you telling me we got a governor that ain't up here talking about some sanctuary cities and we're not handing anybody over and we're not allowing our police officers to work with you? So you telling me he was like, yeah, Let's deputize our police officers. Let's get it done. Get these people out of our country.
Task force about a month ago. They said that led to the arrest, Nicole, of at least 340 criminal illegal immigrants in the state. Governor Youngkin standing there today calling for the defunding of these sanctuary cities because that's where some of these individuals, he says, are kind of being shielded and being protected. Now,
y'all hear that? So he's calling for the defunding of these sanctuary cities. Yay! Because that's where they're running. And see, what's so crazy about this mess is I'm saying it should be obvious to every stinking, nasty, traitor, corrupt Democrat governor or mayor. It should be obvious that as soon as you advertise that we really are on the side of the illegal immigrants, regardless of what they've done, whether they're a crook, criminal, or whatever, we don't care. We're here to protect all illegal immigrants at any cost. That right there is a big billboard saying, if you're corrupt and a criminal from another country, flee and get to our city or our state, and we'll do everything we can to protect you. That's what that says. See, so instead of being smart about it, they are welcoming a whole bunch of even worse folks in their city or in their state when the rest of the country with sense is saying, yeah, come get these crazy folks out of my city. Of course, they're going to say, well, I'm not going to stay here. I'm going to flee straight to Chicago. I'm going to flee wherever. They're talking about, well, we're a sanctuary. We don't actually ask people for their status and citizenship. Yeah, they're going to go there. I would. If I was a crook, if I was a criminal, if I was a gang member, I'm like, let me get to the first, sanctuary city so I can see these dumb behind Democrat politicians getting up there defending me somehow.
287G, that's a program under ICE where generally it allows for jailers to understand somebody's immigration status. They've now expanded that to allow for warrant services and also for these task forces that the governor was talking about being a part of, Nicole.
There is no question. Let's be very.
Oh, God. Speaking of those dummies, here comes some immigration lawyer who's going to try to pretend that she's okay with the worst of the worst getting taken out of the country. That's not who I'm referring to. However, I'm about to go ahead and refer to them because they have rights too. Now, you think Americans want to hear about the rights of these people? Let's listen to what she got to say.
Very clear. There is no question that TDA, that MS-13, these are very dangerous gangs.
Yeah, so then what's the problem? Right now, you shouldn't even be on TV. You should have ended it right there. They're very dangerous gangs. They should be deported. Great job, Governor. Great job, ICE. That's what she should be saying. However, you already know there's going to be a but.
I spent much of my career prosecuting people who were part of gangs like this, including MS-13. And if people commit crimes and violence and are part of these organizations, then they should have accountability, and that may include being deported.
Okay, see, if people commit crimes, first of all, it's a crime to be here illegally. That's the first crime they committed. Secondly, here she's trying to make an argument that even though they might be in this gang, it doesn't mean that they committed a crime. You got to prove that they actually was one of the people who burned somebody alive. You got to prove that maybe they were one of the people who they used the knife instead of a gun because, they want people to feel it. It hurts more, And you got to prove that. And since you can't prove that, you're violating their rights. You might be deporting a MS-13 gang member who just simply was a part of the gang but never participated in any type of crime. So now we got to waste money and try to prosecute these people who shouldn't even be in the country in the first place. And the fact that you're in a gang, period. You're disqualified. What are you talking about? We got to prove that you actually, you've sanctioned whatever behavior goes on in that gang just by being in it. Yeah, if you're a witness to it and you didn't turn them in, you don't see no MS-13 people coming. The other day, I tried to tell them, I said, man, don't burn nobody alive. You're going too far. They wouldn't listen. You don't see them telling. So what are you talking about?
But that's not what's happening here. What we're seeing here is just a complete roughshod of due process. And the examples you're giving show that. The government needs, again, I spent much of my career doing, doing
stupid stuff. You need to be choking on that. That my career don't, excuse me. All that nonsense is clogging up my pipes. All that nonsense. So now this woman, y'all, she wants these folks to go through some due process, their rights that they don't have as an American citizen. See, that's what she wants. Now, see, she sounds like a fool. If you leave it up to liberals like this, our country would fall completely apart. Completely apart. These liberals will liberalize us right off of a cliff. How stupid can you be? And listen, she's going to try to pretend that the Americans are behind this too.
To show that these individuals are actually part of these gangs and that they are actually committing acts.
So not only does she want ICE and the police and stuff to prove that they're part of the gang, but then you also got to go ahead and prove that they were committing acts while in the gang. That's liberal logic right there. These are the people who are out there fighting for MS-13 and all the rest of them because apparently she thinks they have rights. And you got to prove they was in the gang. So let me understand this. You could be all tatted up, MS-13 across the chest. You go in the court, sir. Yeah, what's your name, Jose? Okay, Jose. Hey, Jose, are you part of MS-13? No. But you know, you do have tattoos all over you for MS-13. I just like it because, you know, cool tattoos. That's it. Not a part of the gang. Darn it. We thought we had him. But he said he's not a part of the gang. Oh, well. Well, let's go ahead to the Pepe. Pepe, you're actually in the gang. See. Pepe, have you ever committed any crimes while being in MS-13? No. Never committed crimes. Darn it. We can't prove that he committed crimes, so we got to let him stay. You see how stupid these people are? You leave it up to stupid people like this. Telling you, man, they will liberalize us and stupefy us right off a cliff.
That warrant the deportation under the statutes that the government is citing. And none of that has been shown here. And that is why you see the judiciary pushing back and saying, wait a minute.
No, we see the judiciary pushing back and saying, wait a minute, because they are woke, dang on judges. That's why. They're Marxist activist judges. That's why, who don't care. They're trying to just save the Democrats and their precious illegal immigrants and the scheme that they've been running on the country for years. That's all they're about. Just like the Biden administration and mucus and the rest of them, they didn't care if these gang members slid in when they were coming across the border with all of the other ones that weren't a part of a gang. They didn't care. They're just like, let them all mix and blend. Who cares? We'll sort that mess out after the crimes are committed. There it is. That'll let us know which ones are the good ones and the bad ones after they get over here and end up killing somebody. Darn it, that was a bad one. Ooh, yikes, sorry about that. All right, but don't blame everybody. They're not all stupid stuff like that. But here she is, and look what she has the nerve to say. She says that we're on her side.
Due process. This is a real thing that Americans care about and should care about.
Is it? It's not something I care about. Not something I support. I'm like, get these folks out of here. What rights are you talking about? All right, gang or not, still got to go.
Go back home.
Oh, I forget that.
You go back home to mommy.
Yeah, that guy. That's the nerd. So anyway, so speaking of going back home, guys, we got us a big fish, y'all. Woo-wee. You know, the greatest clips are when you F around and find out. Those that are out there popping trash. Remember that one guy who was like, Donald Trump, we ain't going nowhere. If you're going to do something, do it. I'm not going anywhere. And then like 5 minutes later, ICE showed up at his job and took him away. Well, we got another one. Yeah. So check this out. Speaking of getting taken back to their country, this is a beaut.
In his most recent controversial TikTok video, Moreno is telling his followers to avoid living on the streets in the United States. They can, quote, invade empty homes and live there.
Y'all remember him? He was all over the internets and TikTok telling everybody, listen, man, y'all in America now. These folks are stupid. We could take advantage of the whole system. Go ahead, find you a crib, post up in that bad boy, and it's yours. They can't do nothing. So this guy right here was out here getting famous, blowing up on TikTok under Joe Biden, telling everybody to break the laws, you know, post up in cribs. Let's see how his career is going now.
saying under U.S. law, if a house is uninhabited, it can be seized, referring to squatting rights in our country.
Yeah.
That video garnered almost 4 million views.
Woo-wee! My man had himself a following, telling folks to squat. And you know what's crazy? Is there was a stretch where we were seeing that all over the news. I mean, folks was like, man, I came to the crib and somebody's family is up in my house. What you mean I can't just kick them out? It's my house. Oh, I'm sorry, they claimed it. Just like, you know, when you was a kid, I claimed this mountain. So this guy was out there promoting that. Now you would think if you in another country illegally, you might want to lay low. You might want to lay low, see, but not him. Because, see, he's been observing our Democrat Party and the fake news and how they're willing to go to bat for any illegal immigrant and turn their head and act like they're not hearing an arrogant, stinking little snot like this dude out here becoming famous, telling folks to break our laws. So he knew. He was like, don't worry. I'm under Joe Biden, baby. I can do pretty much whatever I want. And let's see how that ended up. Oh, no. There he is. Wait a minute. Oh, wait. Is he about to squat in prison? Is that where his new place is to squat at? Oh, man, let's find out what happened to this dude. No, they didn't. And so apparently maybe he tried to grow the hair out or something, and hopefully they might have not been able to catch him or couldn't identify him, but it didn't work. So let's see. Look at him. Oh,
An
no.
influencer on TikTok appears to be trying to put others on game on how to take over U.S. homes and use squatters' rights. Leonel Moreno, who appears to be a Venezuelan migrant, posted a video to the platform telling followers in Spanish if a house is not inhabited, no one's living there, we can seize it. How much weight does this claim hold?
No. How stupid is this guy? Uh-huh. Yeah, so there you have it. That guy right there who was making a living. And I'm talking he was making some money, y'all. Making these TikTok videos. Now, once again, only a stupid country would allow somebody to do that. Lucky we're not as stupid as we were just a couple months ago. Yeah, we're getting rid of the stupidity. So, yeah, go to any country illegally and start making TikTok videos about how stupid that country is to let you come in. And yeah, if anybody's out there, take advantage of the stupid country. Yeah, go ahead and just start posting up in houses and staying there. They can't kick you out because it's a stupid country. And he didn't stop with just the housing situation. Look what else he was talking about.
Moreno regularly shares on social media how he scams the system to receive money from the federal government.
Scamming the system. So not only is he out there promoting squatting, he says he's scamming the system by receiving federal money. Why? Why is this illegal immigrant receiving federal money?
Food stamps, and shows his social security card in posts that we've reviewed.
Food stamps and social security card. How'd that man get that social security card? That's my question. Under the Joe Biden administration, which we're going to find out in a little bit, because Elon Musk done exposed a whole heap of stuff. No wonder they hate him. But that guy right there was boasting about all the money that we were paying them with our tax dollars under Biden and mucus.
He claims that his wife and daughter received $350.
Whoa. Yoinks. Oh, shoot. Wait, let me go back. That's all right. I accidentally hit the button there. Okay, let's go back to where he was claiming
to receive money from the federal government, food stamps, and shows his social security card in posts that we've reviewed. He claims that his wife and daughter receive $350 a month from the federal government, and often flaunts the food and aid that they receive through the funding from these federal programs.
So this guy was wilding, y'all. This dude had no humility. None whatsoever. Yeah, that's what he was doing. This dude was out here clowning. And don't forget, y'all, he was talking about how stupid America is. In fact, I didn't reverse a couple of these clips because I want to read it so y'all can go ahead and see what he was telling everybody while he was making this little TikTok video. Look at that. Look at all that money. Look at all of our money. Y'all see all of our money right there in that man's hands? Y'all see all of our pesos, our dinero in that guy's hands? Okay, here we go. Here's a migrant influencer. The thing is that I make more money than you without having to work. Woo! Oh, this sounds like a great country to get to. Yeah, let's find us a country we can go to and start making more money than many of their citizens without working. Yeah, can anybody name a country out there that's doing that? No? Okay, it's just us? If we were only dumb ones? We were, okay. I got a question about that. So now what else? He says, without having to work, what else? Like slaves. Y'all hear that? All of you taxpayers out there? Yeah, y'all stupid. Y'all gotta work like slaves, but not this guy. This guy was getting paid. I get money. My man was like thinking of a master plan. This ain't nothing but sweat inside my hands. So I dig into my pocket, all my money is spent, so I did deeper, but still coming up with that. He went ahead and start figuring out ways to beat our raggedy system. And he was doing it and bragging about it.
Esclavo.
Like slaves.
Capichi.
Got it? That's the difference between me and you. I'm an illegal immigrant getting paid off of y'all fools. Yeah. I'm always going to make more money without a lot of work. Now, ain't that great? This guy got some nerve. Some nerve to be posting these videos. Now, do you understand? He didn't think it through. He wasn't sitting back saying, what happens if Trump wins? Yeah, I mean, I'm shocked that man was not going, oh, shoot. The polls ain't look. We might want to go ahead and shut down the TikTok channel and stuff like that. But nope, not him. So without a lot of work, what else? Tell us more about this wonderful, magical place that gives you free money called America. Oh, and went another step further. So he, of course, misses immigration check-in or whatever. So he, of course, was deemed to be an illegal immigrant that violated the law. So they were looking for him. And as an illegal immigrant, especially one that's violated the law, you can't purchase a firearm. But this man is boasting about the Second Amendment. He says, as a citizen, which he wasn't and isn't, of America, you got Second Amendment rights. And watch me benefit off of it. So now he's filming his crime. He says, my people, as an American citizen, which he isn't, Americano, I can get a gun, and well, I have been looking. Yeah, the man who ICE was looking for is looking for a gun.
Capichi. Y bueno, he estado pendiente de comprarme un R15.
To buy an AR or a Glock. Look, check it out. Y'all see it? Yeah, show us the other stuff.
O una glotona. Capichi.
At the prices, daddy of this beauty. Woo-wee. He's talking about the prices, and he's also talking about, how much money he was making not working. Like a stupid, foolish Americans and stuff that was paying for him to live like this. And now he's talking about how he could buy him a gun. He could buy him a gun because he's an American citizen.
Belleza. $1,000, $700, $600.
$1,000, $700, $600, $800.
Y $500.
Yeah, it says, boy, I remind you that in the United States, yeah, look at him having a good time TikToking.
Miren esta preciosura, muchacho. Les recuerdo que en Estados Unidos,
you have to be armed for your safety. You hear him sounding like a MAGA supporter right there. And the United States, you got to be armed for your safety. So let me get this straight. This man came across our border, then went up to Canada and realized Canada wasn't kicking out all the free stuff that, America was kicking out. So he said, let me get my butt back to America. Brings his family back to America, starts making videos about how to squat and take people's property, start talking about how you can get all these social benefits from the Americans, and they're stupid. Then, after they put a warrant out for him, decides I'm going to go ahead and pretend I'm an American citizen and talk about all the guns and how safe you got to be. You got to get yourself a gun in America because he is an American citizen. You got that right, which he's not. See, but he didn't think it through. Let's continue though. You have to be armed. I kept telling you, only us. He said, only us Americans. You see that? Now he done made claim to us, y'all. He done went ahead and start promoting the fact that I'm an American, which he's not.
diciendo solamente nosotros.
I kept telling you, that citizens can carry guns in the United States. Yo, that man up here talking about our constitutional rights. Citizens can carry guns in the United States. Yeah, United
portar armas en Estados Unidos con licencia
States with license and with prevention. He says, I am going to show you this type of gun. There it is. Hey, he's up in the gun shop, the man store, showing everybody all types of guns. Talking about his citizens' rights and stuff. What else? But look, have around here, it says the long guns. You can get them in.
Las armas largas. Las puedes obtener en una tienda normal.
Normal store. Oh, how I entered, now I whatever. So he said you could get the long guns in a normal store. That man's telling folks, just get to America. Once you get here, you automatically a citizen. Go ahead, take advantage of our stupid policies. Get yourself some free money coming in. You know what I'm saying? Drop a couple TikTok videos. Go ahead, snatch somebody's crib and just stay there, squat. Then go ahead and get yourself a gun. And if you want a long one, that's even easier. What else? What else he said?
Ya me dieron mi...
Already got my brochure. Oh, yeah.
Mi propaganda y mire.
Ooh, look at that. Ooh, that's nice. Look at that right there. Yeah. Making videos and stuff of him breaking the law. Shouldn't even be in the country, and he's up here holding AR-15s and talking about how you can buy that and all that stuff. Oh, no. Oh, no. I guess Trump done came in and the party is over. Here he is now, y'all. He's busted up on the inside. Let's see what he crying about. Oh, go get your bottles for some tears. Go get some bottles. I'm in danger. I need protection.
Necesito protección.
I'm being persecuted in the United States. I gotta do it in a Hispanic accent. So I'm being persecuted in the United States. The same United States that is stupid and was giving you all of that stuff. That now they're persecuting you. What else? They're chasing me. He busted up. They're chasing me. My accounts have been locked on TikTok. He got locked on TikTok. Oh, wait a minute. Remember he was making all that money on TikTok in addition to collecting all that tax dollars from us. So he was getting double for his trouble, but now he's all busted up. They're opening, he says, they're open arrest in New York for me. So they're coming after him, yo. And I'm not in New York. I need to pay attention. I need you to pay attention. What's happening? He wants y'all to pay attention to what's happening. He don't want y'all to pay attention to how to squat in the house. He don't want y'all to pay attention to how you can get an AR-15 here in America when you're illegal. He don't want you to pay attention to that. He don't want you to pay attention to how him and his wife is getting all of that government money, along with making money hand over fist, making TikTok videos, y'all. Now they done shut down his little money-making scheme on TikTok. Pay attention to it, y'all. Because my family is in danger. No, you're in danger. Yeah, you put your family in danger. And the crazy part about it is this fool was out here boasting instead of laying low. See, put the bullseye right on him. But wait a minute, he ain't done crying.
Familia corre peligro.
You are in great danger, boy. So now he's telling all the other illegal immigrants that weren't making TikTok videos and weren't being filmed with guns and stuff like that and weren't boasting and telling people to go ahead and do it. He's telling all of them that they're in danger. They're in danger. But I got a feeling you put yourself in even more danger by boasting about how great America is because they're stupid. What else? Delete me from my. Oh, he said delete me from my text store, and he says the other one too. I've received many threats. From who? Who's threatening you? ICE? Huh? From powerful people. Who did this? You brought this all on yourself. Now you're up there with your kid, trying to go ahead and garnish some sympathy because you're holding your kid up there busting tears. Just a minute ago, you was talking about how you can get a gun. Yeah, all you got to do is get to the U.S., baby. It's all good. You see all this dinero? You see all this dinero I'm getting? Yeah, and unlike you slaves, unlike you stupid Americans who's working hard and stuff. But now he's up here talking about that coming after me. You gotta do something. From powerful people. Muchacho.
Ayuda,
please help. Who are you asking to help you, man? What you talking about? Please help. Who is he talking about? Please help. My family's in danger. Please help me. Yeah, it's incredibly scary. He's scared, y'all. Incredibly scared. Yeah, you know, I probably would be scared too if I was that pompous and arrogant to break another country's immigration laws, have a warrant out, and I'm making TikTok videos about how y'all can break the law too. Yeah, I probably would be scared too. Put the bullseye on your chest. Didn't expect Trump to win. Now Tom the Hammer Holman is after you, and you talk about powerful people. They're coming after me. My family is in danger. But there are people looking for me and where I stay. And for me and my family. You see that? You see that? Yeah, that was my favorite part. That was my favorite part. Where he broke down. Yeah, let's see that again. Here we go. Yep, that man's busted up on the inside because he knows the money train is over. He go from being a hero to a zero. All of that is gone because look what happened.
We move on now to the immigration crackdown. Venezuela is set to resume accepting U.S. deportation flights. This is after the Trump administration sent hundreds of Venezuelans to a notorious prison in El Salvador.
Let's see where he's at now.
And as the administration
the migrant king. You know he was called the migrant king.
Remains locked in a standoff with a federal judge over the issue.
Tonight, Venezuela resumes accepting U.S. deportation flights, reversing course after the Trump administration invoked a wartime law from 1798 to deport hundreds of Venezuelan migrants with little or no due process. Those migrants now in a notorious prison in El Salvador. Venezuela's government saying, "We will not rest until we achieve the return of all those in need and rescue our brothers kidnapped in El Salvador."
Oh, come on. Come on. So now Venezuela want to take all their prisoners back and their brothers that are kidnapped in El Salvador. Hey, well, take them back. You know he don't really want them. This is all show. Nobody wants those gang members back unless those gang members are being used for something else. I mean, now you might want them back if you want to use them for your own bidding. But other than that, why would you be talking about send these gang members back? There are brothers that are kidnapped in El Salvador. No, these are vicious gang members that broke our laws, and we don't have to give them back to you. But the ones we want to get back, you're going to take them. Like, guess who, y'all?
Door.
Look! The migrant king! He's on his way back to Venezuela, y'all! They're coming after my family. Please help me. Yeah, there he is. There he is. He done grew his hair out and everything. Yeah. All of that dinero that he stole from us, all of that gone now. Gone now. So his wife and his daughter or kid, they're still in America, while he is on his way right back to Venezuela. You think he's going to get back there and start making TikTok videos again? How great Venezuela is? And how stupid the people in Venezuela is and all the money he can make down there off the government. You think he's going to do that? Goodbye, Migrant King. Goodbye. Adios, amigo. There he goes. There he goes. Yeah. Gotta hurt. Got to hurt. And I'm not shedding one tear for that man right there. Not one tear. All of that boo-hooing on the internet. Hey, you brought that all the way on yourself and was arrogant about it.
Now, Moreno had to be put in protective custody because the other migrants who were being deported with him blamed Moreno for bringing attention to the whole migrant crisis and getting Americans so upset where they were all being deported out of the country.
Oh, snap. So he's now getting double for his trouble. Yeah, because he went on a full-blown social media rant about taking advantage of the system. Now, do you think Americans watching this fool parade all over TikTok boasting about how stupid we are, how much money he's making off of our system, all of that? You think Americans going to take that and be like, well, I still support illegal immigrants, man. We're doing our part. We're doing our part to make sure he has a better life. So forget if he boasts about how dumb we are while taking tax dollars and all of that stuff. Forget that. Yeah, what he's doing is great. Keep up the message. No, any common sense American that will watch this fool all over TV and all over TikTok talking about how stupid we are will go, wow, you're bringing attention to this illegal immigration issue. And I don't like this type of attention. I don't like what you're saying. How much money are we giving these people? And we're about to find out, y'all, how the Migrant King and many others came over here for a better life under the Biden administration.
Now, while in jail, the New York Post spoke to Moreno, who wailed about being unjustly persecuted here in the United States. They quote him as saying, I came here to the United States because of persecution in my country.
Y'all hear that? He came to the United States because of persecution in his country. What persecution? I don't understand what he's talking about. Is there some type of civil war? Are they being persecuted because of, it's the persecution that mucus, because they totally change up like reasons why you can come to our country for asylum. I mean, you could be getting persecuted by climate. You know what I'm saying? Climate change is persecuting me, y'all. When I'm out there working in the field, that heat is on my back. I feel like it's persecuting me, and I got to get to America because they got different type of heat. They got different type of heat up in America. So yeah, something like that. Anything pretty much you can come to America under Biden.
Venezuela. But they're doing the same thing to me in the United States.
Oh, he said now we persecuting him in the U.S. That's what it is. Now he's a political refugee. That's what it is. We were persecuting this guy. Yep, giving him all kind of money for him and his family, but we were persecuting him as he took advantage of our dumb politicians and policies.
Persecuting me, Moreno moaned. Moreno continued, it's all misinformation in the media about me. They're defaming me.
They're defaming me, y'all. So all those videos of him boasting, joking, clowning Americans, calling us stupid, that they were defaming him, which y'all saw him saying in his own words, is disinformation.
They're misrepresenting me in the news. I am a good father, a good husband, a good son, a good person, humble, respectful to people who respect me here.
You forgot stupid, arrogant, ungrateful, and a criminal. You forgot those. See, maybe you should put that in that little statement as he's talking about, I'm being unlawfully persecuted. These illegal immigrants have become so dang emboldened and arrogant, all because the Democrats made them feel that way. Along with these sanctuary cities who roll out the magic carpet for them too. Tell them, hey, look, man, we got y'all. Look, now ICE might be looking for you, but we just gonna go ahead and open up the door in the back. You know, what happened after that is, you know what I'm saying? I'm just saying, I'm gonna turn my head and the door's gonna be open. Here's the key to the cuffs. You do what you got to do, baby. See, yeah, stupid stuff like that.
Got it.
So guys, here we go. Liberal fools about to get Pookie killed, y'all. See, so there is one dude who is encouraging the illegal immigrants that if ICE shows up, this is how you need to handle it. And he's about to get all these folks killed, y'all. Look how he's saying,
shoot at ICE agents on sight.
Shoot at ICE agents on sight. You hear this fool? Now, he's not going to do that I'm pretty sure he's probably an American citizen. But he's encouraging them to shoot at ICE agents on sight, and listen to his reasoning.
That's right. If ICE agents are trying to take you or a loved one, shoot them on sight. The way they're pulling up, with masks on, with unmarked vehicles, no badge, no nothing, it could be anybody. It could be gang members. You have every right to shoot at them.
Y'all hear this fool? And hopefully, prayerfully, nobody is going to listen to this idiot right here, okay? Because that is going to result in immediate termination. Immediate. Because by the time ICE busts in, they already have their weapons drawn. See, so they already done beat you to the punch. That's what happens when you actually utilize, our resources and ICE agents to do these things. You think they're just going to roll up on the scene and you get that much time to see them coming? The element of surprise, is crucial. So by the time they bust down your door, roll up on your car, they're coming out like this. And this guy's suggesting shoot on sight. Basically, he's trying to get these folks killed. That's what he's trying to do.
This would be the best self-defense case. You're just in fear for your life. You don't know who's behind that unmarked vehicle or who's behind that mask. This is ridiculous. What is our country coming to?
As you read your little script, no, what's ridiculous is you're trying to get some of these illegal immigrants straight up killed. That's what's ridiculous as you sit in your car making videos. So it's obviously you're not a illegal immigrant. So it's easy to sit back and tell the illegal immigrants that do that because he probably want to see a couple of them get killed. So then all the news and everybody else, look at this. ICE is just slaughtering immigrants. They're just killing them one by... Hey, he probably want to see something like that pop off. What a horrible guy. This dude's stupid.
Why would you want to be an ICE agent anyway? Do you like separating kids from their parents? Do you like deporting students that are studying?
Yeah, somebody's paying this guy to make a stupid video like that. And you know the crazy part about that? I wouldn't put it past the Democrats wanting to see ICE go a little too far. I wouldn't put it past them because they love those type of tragedies. Then they'll use it like they did the George Floyd situation. To see ICE ended up killing somebody that they were, and this person was just simply trying to protect their family. No due process. They're just killing them in the middle of the streets. Let's get upset. I want everybody rioting and protesting. Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if the Democrats are going, we need something drastic like that to happen to really push back on this whole ICE and immigration issue. Because guess what? Elon Musk just discovered something that's juicy, y'all. So no wonder they're out there with their last-ditch efforts. I push back, shoot at them, and do this and that and this and that.
I can understand deporting a gang member or criminals.
No, you can't. No, you can't. No, you can't. They always slide that in. They always try to slide that in, make it seem like, well, what if they are gang member and criminals? What do they say? We don't get to shoot back? It would be more likely them who would end up shooting back at ICE by sight, you fool. But here you are. I can understand the gang members and criminals.
Listen, people, it's ridiculous. The way these ICE agents are pulling up with masks on, unmarked vehicles, they are pulling up like gang members. They are pulling up like the mafia. You might as well shoot them on sight and have your day in court. Take care, guys. Now I'm out.
Yeah. I want to see the fools that are going to take that advice from that fool. There you go. That man's about to get Pookie killed, y'all. Telling these folks to do that. Listen, if you're a legal immigrant, you're watching Kevin from Kevin's Corner, don't do that. Don't do that, okay? I mean, I've had guns drawn on me by the police. The last thing you want to do is quick movements. It's not the time, okay? Not the time. And most likely ain't no gang members that's about 50 deep gonna roll up and just with guns like that, saying, get down on the ground. So don't be talking about I thought all 50 of them with guns, I was going to take on all of them. That's stupid. They're not coming in there one person at a time. They're coming in there like SWAT. That's what they're. Somebody said looking SWAT. Yeah, they're going to come in there, a whole bunch of them. So at that point, you might as well just throw your hands up and say, okay, what is this all about? Oh, me being here illegally about that. I was just on my way to see y'all. I was about to go ahead and, submit my papers and everything, but it's too late then. So now let's get to this before we get out of here, y'all. Well, look what DOGE has found. Now, there's a reason why they hate Elon Musk, y'all. It's a reason why. They got their crazies out there attacking Teslas and trying to tank its stock and saying that he's stealing and robbing from American citizens. Nope. He's exposing things like this, which is also tied to illegal immigration and the Democrats. Check this out, y'all.
We started at the top of the system, mapping the whole system of Social Security to understand where all the fraud was. And there's a lot of great people there that showed us really a lot of waste. And so that came with a big list of stuff they're working on. You've heard some of that already, but this is what jumped out at us.
Wait a minute. This what jumped out? Let me get smart. Hold on. Let me see. Okay, so let me see what jumped out. Okay, so wait. Okay, here we go. All right, so this is what jumped out. All right, I want to know this because, see, the liberals keep saying the Elon Musk and them is just stealing grandma's checks. So let me see what jumped out.
When we saw these numbers, we're like, what is this? In 21, you see 270,000 people, goes all the way to 2.1 million in 24.
2.1 million.
These are non-citizens that are getting Social Security numbers.
What? Non-citizens. Now, who are the party just running around saying these people aren't illegal? These are just non-citizens. Who's doing that? The Democrats? Let's continue.
Yeah, this is a mind-blowing chart.
Yeah, just this literally blew us away. Like we just went
blowing me away too.
And we found this by accident. I have been from DC to Social Security offices to the border to track this down, and very good people have helped us along the way. I want to thank them.
Yeah.
This number, what this is when you come in the country, if you're illegal, there's a couple ways to come in. You come in through a port of entry, and you can tell them you're afraid. They'll give you an asylum case. You get an interview, then you get in. That's one way to do it. Another way to do it is to just go to the border. Literally, this happened. I talked to Border Patrol myself. Elon was there too. I went to Laredo, and I went to Bronzeville. Elon went to Eagle Pass. You walk up to a Border Patrol officer, and you tell them you want to come in. They have a couple of choices. They could charge you with a misdemeanor or a felony under 1325. Or they can make it an administrative offense, like a parking ticket, basically. They were told to do that. Make it
Y'all hear that? So that was the system under mucus. Make it like a parking ticket, y'all. Get as many of these folks in here, make an excuse for them, downplay the severity of their violation, and then what?
Administrative offense under the last administration. And then you go walk across the border, they do what's called a release from your recognizance, and they give you an NTA, notice to appear, which to appear to judge.
Notice to appear, which what?
The wait times on judges are like average 6 years. Look at Caracas.
6 years. 6 years. So wait, these people come in illegally. Mucus and all of them were going ahead and setting it up to where they can come in with, some downplayed charges. Say just come and see the judge in about 6 years. By the way, though, here's how you can get a Social Security card.
On immigration judges, there's only 700 of them. This is 5.5 million people. Okay, so what happens then? Once you're in the country and you got asylum through one of these pathways, and we map the whole thing out.
One of those easy pathways because of the expansion of the asylum reasons. The expansion of it. Pretty much anything give you asylum. So make it super easy for asylum. And then what else? What other kind of stuff that maybe people like the immigration king, the guy who just got sent back, would take advantage of? Let's see.
You can apply for a work document. File a 765. It's the work form. You get this form called the 766. That's the authorization. And then Social Security Administration automatically sends you in the mail your Social Security number.
Wow. How you like that, y'all? They had a whole system in place to make sure these folks become citizens or at least operate like citizens with a Social Security card, a job, get their Social Security card in the mail. What other benefits were Mucus and Biden giving to them?
No interview. No ID.
So no interview, no ID. But I'm sure Elon Musk is exaggerating this and stuff. Let's see.
Bring up the website because I know people are going to have a hard time believing this. Anytime Elon Musk comes out and the statement is like, whoa, is that even possible? If you go to the website itself, they have an entire process for issuing Social Security numbers for non-citizens.
What's
and
that
it's
process?
right here in the very first sentence. Generally, only non-citizens authorized to work in the United States by the DHS can get a Social Security number. It tells you what the process that the Biden administration was executing. Then it goes on to say that lawfully admitted non-citizens can get certain benefits and services without a social security number. You don't need a social security number to get a driver's license, register for school, get private health insurance, or apply for school lunch programs or subsidized housing. I mean, that...
You hear that? So all of those benefits right there that he just listed, yeah, whether you had a social security number or not, you can apply for all of those benefits. Now, that right there is incentive for the Democrats who put this system in place to hate Elon Musk. This was the structure that they had put in place to go ahead and change the demographics of our country, to allow these people to come here and take advantage of all of these benefits, like that immigration king, the migrant king that was getting that money. See, so yeah, you can apply for all of this. And this was coming out of things like USAID, out of all these other programs that Elon Musk is finding. Now, you best believe they want this man done. They want him done. He's exposing things like this.
That right there tells you where a lot of our money is going. Now, let me give you the step-by-step to make sure it is clear, so there's no confusion. And you're not sitting there, oh, Elon Musk is making up a crazy statement again. Step number one, there is an official process to give non-citizens social security numbers. Step number two, Joe Biden allowed people to cross the border illegally and still granted them asylum. Plus,
you hear that? Illegally and still grant you asylum. You hear that?
Accepted their work document, Form I-765. And step number three, illegal aliens, these are immigrants who cross the border illegally, were allowed to get the same benefits, which includes getting a social security number as legal immigrants would be able to do. And yesterday, we also uncovered how illegal immigrants were receiving tax returns from Jackson Hewitt, almost in the amount of $14,000.
This $14,000 tax returns, y'all. People who are not American citizens under the Biden administration. Now you see why they want Elon done?
This is worth just reiterating. It's not people sometimes think that under the Biden administration that he was simply asleep at the switch. He wasn't asleep. They weren't asleep at the switch. It was a massive, large-scale program to import as many illegals as possible, ultimately to change the entire voting map of the United States and disenfranchise the American people and make it a permanent, deep blue, one-party state from which there would be no escape.
And they got busted. DOGE exposed. All of that. We all knew it was happening. But now we see the tracking, the details, where the money was going, how it was structured and set up. You see now why they're like, go out and tear up his cars, burn them down. We got to stop this man somehow. Got to stop this man. Because if he cuts this money off in this supply, that's one way to send all of these illegal immigrants back. When they are like, yo, we're not getting no support. What do you mean? We're not getting our Social Security checks. What do you mean we're not getting our Medicare? What do you mean we're not getting our school paid for? What do you mean we're not getting these things? So you're cutting off our supply that the Democrats put in place because y'all discovered that the Democrats had structured this to support all of these people coming in our country illegally. That right there means that these people who structured this should be thrown in a slammer. That's what should happen to them.
Look, if I hadn't seen this myself, I'm not sure I believed it. I went through it myself and mapped it. And Elon is right. This is true. The defaults in the system from Social Security to all of the benefit programs have been set to max inclusion, max pay for these people, and minimum collection. That's what's happening. We found 1.3 million of them already on Medicaid.
1.3 million of them already on Medicaid. And yet you got people mad at Elon Musk. You got people tearing up his vehicles because he's discovering and exposing this type of waste and corruption.
As an example, we've gone through on every benefit program we went through, we found groups from this particular group of people, this 5.5 million people in those benefit programs. And then what was really, really disturbing us was why. We're asking ourselves why. And so we actually just took a sample and looked at voter registration records. And we found people here registered to vote in this population, yes.
And who did vote?
And we found some by sampling that actually did vote. And we have referred them to prosecution at the Homeland Security Investigation Service.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Already, that's already happened.
And it better happen. I want to see some prosecution. But yet, the fake news and the Democrats will tell us we have the most secured voting, elections ever. Now you see how corrupt these people are? and how deep the corruption ran, and yet they were trying to tell us everything was working perfectly. That's why they hate Elon. That's why they want DOGE gone, is because all of this is getting exposed. And thank God. And I want to see them actually prosecuted. In fact, there's a big election going on tomorrow about some judges, a Supreme Court judge, I think, in Wisconsin. I hope somebody's going to be up there making sure the election integrity runs the way it should go. I was going to talk about it tonight, but I didn't want to go too long. So you see what's going on, right? That's why they have put out the call to stop Elon Musk, because he keeps on running across corruption like that. Blatant corruption, waste of money, and they put all of these systems in place to support that illegal immigration crap. After the Democrats right now being exposed because of dummies like the migrant king, laughing, talking about, yeah, I'm taking advantage of all these stupid people. It's things like we just heard. That's what it was. He's taking advantage of stuff like that. Yeah, it's unreal, man. And I'm so mad at the Biden administration and the Democrats for allowing this to happen to our country, because this is a daunting task to reverse this. But one way to start the ball rolling is to cut off their resources, expose the system, go after the people who put the system in place, and then, of course, cut the resources so at some point they self-deport. Let them get to a point where they say it's not even worth it right about now. Trying to run around, dodge ICE. I'm not getting any financial support anymore. No free housing. No enrolling my kids in school and the government's paying for it. You know, I'm not going to get tax returns. And if you're the migrant king, you're not going to be getting guns and talking about my Second Amendment rights and stuff like that. Yeah, we want to expose that mess, cut off the water spout so they'll all go back to Venezuela on their own. Don't make the hammer have to come and get you. Just go ahead on your own. Self-deportation. Yes, what you need. Self-deportation. So we'll see how it goes. I want to see some people prosecuted, and I want to see them get to the bottom of how many of these people with Social Security numbers were voting. That right there is a big problem. Or voting integrity, because really, that is the number one reason why they were importing them into this country. It wasn't for them to have a better life. It's not just for cheap labor. No. It is mostly so we can make them citizens. Do you think the migrant king who got sent back to Venezuela would have voted for Trump? Nope. After he's getting all of that from Democrat policies, you think any of these people who came here and been getting all of this stuff because of Democrat policies, you think any of them would have stopped for 1 second to say, I think I'm going to go ahead and vote for Donald Trump? No, they would have all voted for the system that's in place by the Democrats so it will stay in place. And that's why they hate Elon, because he's exposing it. Now, God bless y'all. God bless America. Thanks for kicking it with me tonight, y'all. Yeah, man, enjoyed the show. I enjoyed it with y'all. Make sure y'all come back tomorrow, because I will be back here tomorrow, same time, same place, okay? So God bless y'all. God bless America, and we will see y'all next time in Kevin's Corner, y'all. Oh, yeah. Thanks, Elon. Thanks, Doge, for exposing that nonsense.
This is awesome.
Yeah. Take care. See y'all tomorrow in Kevin's Corner.